is we're going to take a look at how you've deconstructed these and just to kind of talk about what you guys thought was easy for the kids to do on these tasks, and then what you thought was a little bit of a struggle, and then what we thought was a general struggle. So on the elementary side, nothing was easy about that task. So let's just be clear about that. For the secondary, we thought it was easy to create a scatter plot, perhaps easy to explain patterns, plot Dolbear's law, compare the data, and to organize the data. So we thought that that was something that we thought our kids could do for that task. So I'm going to have Mark read about the next piece.
Okay, so for the student here or there, for the elementary, the Civil War quilts, we have watching the video about the Civil War quilts and taking notes. Note taking again with pulling out the important information. Keyboarding skills. Cross-text resource connections. Organize an informational text, so the organization of the writing. Support the text with evidence, so support whatever information you're providing with evidence, and then utilizing the rubric provided. For the secondary, the crickets, analyzing the data, estimating, describing, estimating again here, estimate, create a scatter plot from a data set, and then plot the line from a given equation. So actually three people put estimate on here as well for the here or there.
I think that is very interesting that we think our kids have trouble estimating. I know it's true. I just think that we think that it's going to be easy for them to create some of this math stuff, but it's going to be harder for them to estimate, which is interesting. Okay, so here's where our kids really struggle. So for the elementary folks, reading and following through on the multiple step directions, finishing the task in a given amount of time, analyzing the different images, pulling key facts from a video, and devising a written plan to draft, revise, and edit in 70 minutes. So stamina, exclamation point, was something that we thought they struggled with. On the secondary side, write an interpretation of the slope of an equation, describe how the math kind of fits, write an equation and an interpretation, develop an equation, interpret the differences between rate and temperature, analyze and identify patterns from a graph, evaluate the model using some of the math, write an interpretation of the slope of the line of best fits, using a lot of the vocab that is included on this sheet, write an equation, and compare and interpret your models. So there's actually some similarities from here to here, just in terms of if we take the content area out of it, it's that things that we've talked about with the analyzing. And I think it is true, especially within the math and the sciences, when we ask them to do both, a little bit of math with a little bit of ELA mixed in, like write about using more letters than just X and Y, the thing that you're seeing happening, that's a general struggle for kids. So, we're not going to be able to eat this entire elephant today, within the rest of the school year that we have, and even within maybe even next school year, right? So what we would like you guys to do right now is to kind of talk at your table about the stuff that you heard Mark and I kind of list off, in particular about the kids, or the skills that the kids struggle with, either significantly or just a little bit, and try to brainstorm a couple of ideas that can help you start to overcome these roadblocks. Like, don't try to tackle all of this, because that's not feasible. But like an example that I might give is, okay, so something that was listed up here was pulling facts from a video. So that we know is a struggle. Some of you thought it was kind of a little bit of a struggle. Some of you thought it was a big struggle. What could we possibly do within our classrooms to tackle that particular thing, as an example? Go ahead.
Practice watching a video and stopping it at different points and saying, okay, what's the main point of this segment of the video, and write that down.
Perfect. Yep. So that's what I want you guys to do in your groups, is to have conversations about some of these roadblocks that you pulled out, you've now isolated and by itself. And then, see, right now we're just going to model that for you. We're going to watch this video and just kidding. We're really not going to do that. let's practice some strategies. No. So at your table, we've isolated some of these skills. Talk about, brainstorm what things you could try in your classroom just to kind of start to think about the implications of these performance tasks and how we might start to implement them in our classrooms. Okay? All right, so I'll give you a couple minutes just to talk with your neighbor about those ideas.